In the beginning of the story, we are shown some mountains where a man is taking some slaves with him. All of them have their feet tied with chains, and this is the time of the year 1858. All the slaves are very tired, but still, they are not stopped. Now it becomes night while they are walking, and then the person who is taking these slaves with him sees that a horse cart is coming from the front. He shouts loudly and says, "Stop right there, or else I will shoot you." That man says, "I am a common man. I have come here to meet the slave trader. If you are him, then we can make a deal." He asks this unknown man, "What kind of deal is this?" He tells him, "Do you have any slave who is from the plantation?" Then one of the slaves says, "Yes, I am from the plantation." He says that his name is Django. The name of this horse carriage driver is Dr. King. Dr. King asks Django about 3 brothers, about whom Django gives exact information. Dr. King is convinced that the man whose slave he has come here in search of is this man, whose name is Django. He asks Django whether he would like to go to the plantation. Django says, "Yes." Actually, Django's wife is kept as a slave in the plantation, and he wants to free his wife from there at any cost. Now, the person who is taking all these slaves here points a gun at Dr. King and forbids him from talking to the slaves. This makes Dr. King very angry, and he shoots that man. His brother is also there, whom he shoots and injures. All the slaves here are freed because this man is also going to die in a short while. After this, Dr. King brings Django to the city, where he tells Django, "You are free. You can breathe freely." Django roams freely in the city. Everyone is surprised to see him because Django is a very old slave. Now, after this, Dr. King takes him to a bar where he tells Django, "You are still not completely free, and if you want to be free, then you have to do one thing for me. I am a bounty hunter, and I am looking for the same 3 brothers about whom I asked you at night." Now the sheriff comes outside, and he shouts loudly, "You cannot take Django with you. He is a slave." The sheriff knows about whatever happened at night. That is why he has come to arrest the doctor. The doctor comes out of the bar and shoots the sheriff, taking Django away from here. On the way, he asks Django about his wife. Django tells him, "My wife and I were slaves of the same 3 brothers whom you are looking for. One day we both tried to escape. I managed to escape, but my wife was caught and taken to the plantation." After this, the doctor goes to hunt those 3 brothers, whom Django knows. They know that they will not be allowed to go inside. That is why the doctor becomes a slave buyer and makes Django his servant. After reaching here, the doctor goes inside, and Django stands outside. Then Django sees 2 of those 3 brothers, whom he shoots as soon as he sees them. Now the doctor also comes out and sees that Django has killed 2 brothers. Then he finds the 3rd brother. The doctor also gives a warrant to the brother, whom the doctor himself kills. Hearing the bullet sound, the owner of this place comes out and points his gun at the doctor. Now, before he could fire the bullet, the doctor shows him the warrant against these 3 brothers, according to which he could kill these 3 brothers. The man is not able to say anything to them, but he is very angry with these 2 brothers in his heart because these 2 have killed his 3 important men. That is why he tells his men not to let these 2 go out of the city at any cost. The doctor realizes this, and that is why he does not sit in his horse carriage. When all the people of that rich man surround the horse carriage, the doctor blasts the carriage, due to which many people of that rich man are killed. Here the doctor asks Django, "Can you do this?" On hearing this, Django takes the gun from the doctor's hand and shoots that rich man. Seeing this, the doctor feels very happy and tells Django, "You are a very good fighter. I want you to work with me. Once my work is over, I will help you in freeing your wife." Django agrees to steal because he wants to free his wife at any cost. After that, both of them together kill many people. Actually, the doctor, who is a bounty hunter, hunts only those people who have a government ban. Doctor has put a reward on his capture, alive or dead. Doctor earns money by killing them. Now, one day, when they go for their next hunt, Django sees a man and his young son working in the field. Doctor tells Django that he has to kill this man. Django says, "I cannot kill him because his son is very young." Doctor shows him the body of that man and tells Django, "You should not think that this man's son is young. You should think about how many innocent people this man must have killed." After hearing this, Django kills that man unwillingly. Now, Doctor has earned a lot of money because of Django, and now he wants to free Django's wife, who is in the plantation. But all this will not be so easy because the owner of the plantation, whose name is Calvin, is very powerful along with being rich. However, Doctor knows that he makes black slaves fight, which is his hobby. Doctor tells Django, after meeting him, "I will tell him that I also make slaves fight, and I will introduce you as my fighter." After this, both of them reach the place where Calvin is making slaves fight. Doctor meets Calvin and tells him, "I am also fond of fighting, and I want to buy your strongest and best slave fighter." Calvin asks him, "For how much do you want to buy my fighter?" Doctor says, $1,000 in 1858 is a very big price. Calvin becomes very happy on hearing this amount, and the next day, he takes both of them with him and leaves for the plantation, where Django's wife is a slave. Now, when they reach the plantation, it is shown that one of Calvin's slaves was trying to run away. Calvin sets dogs after him, which injure him very badly. From this, we come to know that Calvin is a cruel person. After this, Calvin takes both of them to his luxurious house, where he introduces them to his sister and his special servant, who is a black man. The doctor tells Calvin, "I am very tired and want to rest now. Also, I need a girl," and he takes the name of Django's wife. Calvin agrees to his words and sends someone to call that girl. Here, it is shown that Django's wife is locked inside a steel box, due to which her skin is burning. Actually, she had tried to escape. That is why she was given this punishment. After this, Django's wife is presented in front of the doctor. The doctor talks to her in German because he knows that she knows German. He tells her, "I and your husband Django, we have come here to free you." After this, he calls Django, and she becomes so happy on seeing him that she is not able to control herself and faints. Now, at night, all of them are sitting for dinner, where Django's wife is serving food to Django, the doctor, and everyone else because she is a servant in this house. Django and Django's wife are looking at each other. Everyone thinks that they like each other. But here, Calvin has a special servant who is a black man. He gets suspicious. He understands that somewhere these two already knew each other, and along with this, the doctor and Django have come here for this. After having dinner, the doctor tells Calvin, "Now let's talk about the deal. I will buy your strongest fighter for $12,000, and I also want this girl whom you sent to my room." Calvin has no problem with this. He says, "You can take her with you." But then his black servant, who suspects Django and his wife, calls Calvin and tells him, "I think they are playing a game with us. They have not come here for any fighter but for your servant, whom they probably already know. So the fighter is just an excuse." Calvin says, "If this is so, then we will take $12,000 from them in exchange for that girl." He goes out and puts a hammer on Django's wife's head and says, "I will kill her." Django and the doctor both stop him. He says, "If you want to take her with you, then you will have to give me $12,000 in exchange for this." The doctor agrees to him. After this, they get Django's wife freed by giving him $12,000 and also get him to sign the papers of her freedom. Before leaving, the doctor says, "You are a cruel person," but Calvin does not answer him. He asks the doctor, "Will you not shake hands with me? If you do not shake hands with me, then understand that our deal is not done." The doctor says, "I will not shake hands with you." Actually, both of them are egoistic. Calvin tells his man, "If he leaves without shaking hands with me, then it means that our deal is not done. You kill him." The doctor says, "Okay, I will shake hands with you," and as soon as he comes to shake hands with Calvin, the doctor has a gun in his hand with which he shoots Calvin. Calvin's servant is very sad about his death. He holds him and starts crying. He gets so angry that he shoots the doctor. But the doctor may also die. Because of the ego of these two, the work which could have been done easily resulted in the death of both of them. Now, due to the death of the doctor, Django gets very angry. He starts shooting all the people present here with the gun he has, but soon his bullets are finished. Also, the people present here capture Django's wife, so he has to surrender. After this, Django is beaten very badly. He becomes unconscious, and when he regains consciousness, he is in a mining company. Actually, those people have sold Django here, and in this way, once again, he gets separated from his wife. Django tells the people here that he is not a slave, but he is a free man. He has been deceived, and neither does he know any work of slavery. Rather, he is a bounty hunter. He is here, but these three people are caught by a man. He shows a wanted ad whose killing has a reward of $700. He says, "You join me, and we will kill him together and divide the money." These three agree to his words, and they also give their weapons to Django. Now, as soon as Django gets the weapons, he kills these three and leaves from there. From here, he goes straight to the plantation, where, first of all, he kills those people who had set dogs on the slaves. After this, he goes to the room where his wife is. His wife is very happy to see Django, and now Django goes to the place where the dead body of Dr. King is. Django takes those papers from there on which Calvin had signed for his wife's freedom. Django is very angry about the death of the doctor. That is why he goes to Calvin's house, where all the people who know him are present. He kills all the people one by one, and tells all the slaves here that from today all of you are free. Here also, there is that special slave of Calvin who had told Calvin that Django and his wife and the doctor are all three together. Django shoots that slave on both his legs, so that he cannot walk. After this, he goes out of the house with his wife and blasts the whole house with explosives, due to which the slave inside dies. After this, we are shown that Django sits on a horse and leaves with his wife through the jungle. Actually, now they are going to their home. Both of them are free and can live a good life. With this, the story ends. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.